I got a pencil. That any good?
No.
I go fetch a stick then. Oh, I got one of these. Look, I'll do.
We're gonna. Is that hard enough to push? You know, like what we do in our sessions, here.
Yeah.
Cool. No, it's good. So today I wanted to talk about mobility and why it's important and why everyone needs to be doing it all of the time. And it all coins from something I heard once, but I read in this book, it spoke about body history. Okay, now if we would look at history, we talk about things that have happened in the past relevant to what we're talking about. So history of the royals, you would talk about the royals. History of teaching, you talk about history of teaching. History of farms, you know. So when we talk about body history, we're talking about history of our body. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Follow me? So with that, okay, since I started in the fitness industry and started PTing people, I started to notice common trends, okay? And you're probably all with me that most of us spend a large proportion of the time sitting down, okay? As a society as a whole, okay? I'm not picking on anyone, just as a society as a whole. We sit down for work, we sit down to watch TV, we sit down to drive our cars, we sit down to eat, we sit down all of the time, okay? Now, if we sit down for long periods of time, that's going to add to our body history, okay? Me playing rugby and getting all the injuries that I've had adds to my body history, okay? Me doing something repetitive. So, for example, let's say I open the door with my right arm. And I do that all the time. That's going to add body history. I know someone who makes sandwiches and they're buttering the bread. And they do 240 sandwiches a day. And doing this repetitively causes a strain. Now, I think when we do mobility, we need to focus on undoing body history, okay? So for example, if you sit down for an extended period of time, chances are your hips, your glutes, your bum, your quads, they're all going to be quite tight. Your hamstring's going to be tight. So because if you could see me sitting down from this position, so even if I sat with perfect posture, okay, these muscles here on the back of the legs should be here at full stretch, but they're now sitting in this position. My hips, they should be full hip straight here, and now sitting in this position. Okay, my glutes should be stood straight, and now sitting in a different position. And what happens? Over an extended period of time, our body starts to adapt to be like that. It's more efficient to be like that, okay? So it'll get tighter, it will get shorter, the muscles will start causing a bit of an issue, okay? And when these muscles start causing a bit of an issue, what we need to do... Hi, Lynette.
Hi, Lynette.
How you doing, okay?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good, good. We're just talking about body history and how if you do things over an extended period of time, we can cause tightness and soreness in our muscles. So when we get to this, just follow on, you'll catch up, okay? We've only just started. So to extend, when we get these muscles shortened, what happens is we then get a chance of causing injury. I'll show you a really nice example. I think there's a band in here. Wait a second. So imagine this little ligament here. This is a ligament, this elastic band. Okay, I've shown some of you this before, but let's say this hand here is my bone. Ligaments attach onto bones. Okay, the muscles are on the other end. Okay, so my ligaments onto my hands there. My muscle is my tattoo hand. Okay, what happens when my muscles get tight? They get shorter. So this muscle over here gets shorter. The bone is not going to change position. The bone is sedented in that position. It's not going to move unless it breaks. Okay? So the bone stays still. But your muscles can get shorter. So the only place that sees the strain is the ligaments. Okay? And yeah, you can get partial tears in muscles, but it's the ligaments that are the real problem. Okay? So when that is extended for so long, what happens then all of a sudden, let's say this muscle is your quad. That's really short. Then all of a sudden you go do something, snap. the extended periods of stress will cause stress on the ligaments, and that's why you'll see strains. You'll get type 1, type 2, or type 3 of stress tears in the ligaments, okay? Type 3 is a complete tear. You'll need an operation to put it back on, and they'll sew it back to the bone, essentially, or the muscle, whichever one breaks, okay? Then, or back to itself. Then you've got type 2, where it's a partial tear, and type 1 is like a sprain. So who here's gone over on their ankle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your ankle is a similar, we've sprained, we've stretched all the ligaments. It's slightly different when we roll over on the ankle because it's, if you had super loose legs, for example, I've seen Albin, my 1-year-old, fall over and I'm like, holy shit, he must have torn something. His legs and knees are all in different angles. And you're like, oh, if that was me, my legs would be snapped. It literally would. Leg would have snapped. And he's just sort of like, whoop, pulls himself back up. He's got no tightness in any ligaments. And a lot of his ligaments aren't full. Well, a lot of his bones still aren't formed properly, like in his knees and his ankles. So he's super mobile. Okay, we get stiff when we get older. For example, like if you were to look in like tribes people, they don't sit down at a chair, they squat. A squat is the most natural position. Watch a baby squat and it's perfect. Watch any grown person squat and there's like imperfections. Because of body history, be it rugby, be it sport, be it childhood, be it accidental, be it work, whatever it might be, okay? So when we're doing stretching and mobility, we're trying to relieve this tension in this muscle to relax down into a longer position. Who gets headaches?
Yeah.
Yeah, loads and loads and loads of ligaments of our brow there that pull all the way over the top of our head and into our neck muscles. So when our neck muscles are tight, we pull these ligaments, which go over the top of our head, which will pull when we get like that, sharp pain in our head. Because it's the pulling on the ligaments, like a shoulder joint, elbow, knee, hip. Okay, so not all the time headaches, there's other causes of headaches, but most people I see a headache will have a form of tight shoulders. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna get our stick out and we're gonna get nice and loose, but the idea is that we wanna be doing this all the time because it's not going to be the training that's causing the issue. The training is going to reveal the issue. Okay. For example, when I train jiu-jitsu, I do it and then I start pulling things. It's not because of the jiu-jitsu. My issue at the moment is because I've got a kid that sleeps here all night. So I'm in this position for like 8 to 10 hours. Be either side, so my joints aren't moving. It's really not a good place to sit because all it does is causes my shoulders joints to roll forward, then causes muscle tension. Then I do the exercise, the workout, and then that's when I see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we need to do is commit time to building the habit of stretching because unless we stop living the way that we all live, and that's not going to happen, you know, you're not going to just suddenly stand up and walk to work every day, are you? Well, I mean, I do because I'm 5 minutes away, but you know what I mean? You're not get in the car, are you? You're not going to live the way that you live, you know? But we can do some things. So I always say, right, okay, let's build that habit. At the end of the day, if you watch TV, you should be stretching. If you don't watch TV, fine. In the morning, can you get up 5 minutes earlier to add in some stretching? When the kettle's boiling, can you just do some stretching? Getting out the car, quickly do some stretching. Whatever it is, if you can just add in like a couple minutes throughout the day, it's called habit stacking, you'll find you'll get some really benefits then. Or if you can, like myself, just dedicate half an hour to it every day. Okay, I am stretching, I'm rolling, I'm using cups. And recovery is so crucial to our body. Yeah, so let's get our sticks out, guys. Let's get our sticks out. So let's move back here. So what we're going to do today is something that is called self-myofascial release. Okay, around your muscles, you've got something called fascia. Okay, so imagine it's like a sack that sits around the muscles. And we're going to look to release tension from that. Okay, or release tension in the muscles. It's essentially what a sports massage would do to you. Okay, anyone here had a sports massage?
Yeah.
Or a massage before? Yeah, good. So it's essentially the same as that, but we're going to learn techniques, okay, that we do ourselves to allow us to relieve tension in certain areas. So who here has had hip or back pain?
Yes.
Yeah, most people do because, again, it seems to be the one that we target, okay? So we're going to sit down. So we're going to start off today with your rolling pin or your baton, whatever you've got, okay? We're going to start off with this, okay? I love looking at the quad in 3 different areas, okay? The inside, the top, and the outside, okay? We're going to start on the outside of the leg. You can see my strip. We're going to be rolling up and down, okay? We're going to be pushing lots and lots of weight into that position. Now, as you're doing that, you just keep doing that, guys. What will happen is you'll come across a point that's going to be particularly sore, okay? Don't worry if you haven't. We will find points in this quad, I guarantee, that are sore.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been doing this all week, so yeah, you know where to feel them. So when we do this, we're looking to feel for that pain, because that pain is the angry muscle really, really, really tight. But muscles don't give the whole tension. Ligaments is where the pain comes from. So when we push on the muscle, like, oh, that's sore, but what happens is it relaxes it down, okay? Increases that range of movement, increases that muscle. So we're moving from here, on the outside. What you're going to do now, see how I'm doing? I'm rotating my knee round, and I'm just sort of working my way to the top of the leg now, okay? If anyone does find a point that is particularly sore, so like if I found one here on my leg, what I do is I actually start wobbling that on that sore spot, digging in back and forth really deep, pushing to find that little bit of wiggle. And what will happen is that will start to relax. The pain will start to ease. That's it. Good. Lovely, 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 lovely. That's it, good. That's it. Good, and then what we're going to do now, guys, is move our leg to the outside. We're going to rotate through that inside now, okay? The inside part of that leg. Like I said, if you find something that's a bit sore, like for me, I'm just finding a bit sore down by the inside of my knee there. We're going to go rubbing back and forward. Just on the inside of that quad. The quads are one of the easiest places to do this. This is why I wanted to demonstrate what we're doing. So can people feel that this is quite uncomfortable on their leg? If it's not, push harder. Like if I was there, like I can inflict pain through this quad, I guarantee it. You push harder and harder and harder and harder. If your legs are not as tight, you won't necessarily feel the pain as much, but I guarantee there will be places somewhere that we're going to feel, okay? You feel that a bit more, Kath? Yeah, good, good, good. Nice. Change your legs for me, guys. Change your legs for me. So rotating the knee in. Like for me, I find the spot right at the bottom towards the knee. All the way, actually, all the way along. I'm quite tight on this side. So last June, I think I potentially broke my leg last June in my knee. I think I tore some of my patella bone. I'm all right at the moment, but because everything's so messed up in the knee, I have to really stretch and work on my muscle relaxation. Otherwise, I really can't do any exercise at all in this leg. So I'm always working out, trying to do this, because this allows me to stay on top of my training. Like sometimes it's an external circumstance to why you need some mobility. Most people tend to be not external, like sort of likelihood, okay? External might be a car crash, might be an old sporting injury, something that you can't really control or you do daily, something that happens to you. So. Good, and working our way to the inside again, so I'm starting to rotate my leg towards the center. That's it, lovely. Anyone feeling some really horrendous spots? Yeah, Carol is good.
Yeah, on my funny knee.
Good. This is also a really, really, really good way of forcing yourself to be mindful. Okay? Now, if any of you start suffering with panic attacks, get a stick out and start inflicting pain on your legs. Okay? Because the pain brings you back to thinking of nothing else. Oh shit, my leg hurts. That's all you think. Like, I guarantee that's all you've been thinking this whole time. Like, oh, this actually quite sore, this. Just thinking about that immediate pain source. Okay? So it is a trick if anyone finds that your mind starts running away, a nice painful mobility session will help. Okay? And that's like a win-win then because it's mobility as well. But if you did this for half an hour a day, with doing some deep breathing whilst you're doing it, because muscle contraction actually relaxes on the out breath. So if we breathe in, push into that spot, and then really on that relaxation, the breath out, you'll find the muscle will relax. And then that way is us doing meditation as well. We're getting in some deep breathing, okay? So there's long-term benefits to this, you know? Really, really good. Cool, I'm working on that inside of the leg. Lovely. And if you find a spot that's quite sore, just keep working on that, okay? And nice. Cool, okay, guys, so question for you. How did you feel that? How did that feel to you guys? Can you feel tension in the quads when you're pushing through? Can you feel the pain that it's feeling? Now, essentially what you did is massage that muscle. Quads are easy to do because we can sit and go down. Now, there's a couple of places that we can work into our hips. Are going to be a slightly different ballpark, okay? So what we need to do is we get the end of our stick or our rolling pin, okay? And what we're going to look to do is going to get into our hip. Now, everybody's is different, but I can guarantee when you find this place, it will hurt. Okay, I guarantee it. No one, I guarantee it. Carol, we found it on Thursday, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Okay, so end of your stick, what we're looking to do is get into the side of our hip. I say find your hip bone, and just below your hip bone, it's like towards your bum and back. Right, just right on the side. And you know when you hit it, because it really, really hurts. What I tend to do, if you've got a stick, you can put it against the wall and lean into the wall, okay? For me, I've got it on a ledge on the floor so it can't slide away from me, and I push into it, okay? Nice. That's it. Can you guys feel that shooting pain into the side? It is like quite a sharp, intense pain.
Oh.
Now, when this is like a trigger point to your hip, okay? Because I find people with backache, this trigger point that is going to cause the biggest relief in any tension. Got knee pain as well. This point is so prevalent because it's the TFL head. Okay, so there's a big junction for ligaments that go down into the knee as well. Certainly knee on the outside pain. Okay, so knee pain on the outside. Okay, everyone find that spot?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Right, and good. Changing sides, guys. Changing sides. Now, the other things that you can get that are really, really good, a hockey ball is probably one of the best things you can get, or a cricket ball, one or the other, okay? If you haven't got one, they're really good, because what you can do is you can really pinpoint these tight spots on your hips and your glutes and your back, okay? Good. That's it. Nice, guys. Well done. There you go. That's easier. That's it. Nice. Good. Really tough, guys. Just give yourselves a little bit of a shake out. How does the hips and knees feel? And legs feel?
Yeah.
Knee you saw.
It's just a nice bit of a realization. But essentially, what I want you to learn from this, okay, is that any muscle you have, you can massage it out. Okay? So the next thing I do, when I sounded really Bristolian there, yeah, right. So that next thing, like, I'm so glad my kids aren't going to sound like this. No offense to anyone in Bristol. So what we're going to do next, guys, okay, is talk about how we can self-massage ourselves. So to begin with, we need to recognize where we're in pain and where the problem is. And the easiest way to describe it, where the pain is, the problem is either above or below. If your shoulder hurts, it's either your neck or your arms. It's either your chest or your back. That was the front and back as well, okay? So it's not that point. That's the junction of the pain. The problem is elsewhere. If your knee hurts, chances are it's either your calf, so below, or it's your quad and hamstring above, okay? If your hip hurts or your back hurts, let's say your back hurts, okay? If it's lower back, it's either your glutes, which sit below it, or your traps or rhomboids, which sit above, okay? So now when people come to me and they say, I'm in pain, I can feel something hurting, okay? Like, for example, you came, you had the bad heel that time. Heel pain, okay, through the sole of the foot. Let's roll out the calves. Let's roll out the sole of the foot, okay? Now, where that rule doesn't necessarily apply when you've had like an external circumstance. If you get hit by a car and you get pain in your joint, you could well have broken that joint, okay? If it's from day-to-day living, it's from muscle tension. And 99% of the people that I see or speak with or see in the society could get out of pain by mobility, okay? It's not to say it'll go away forever, but it certainly will help, okay? Because it's just all movement dysfunction, okay? When I was 12, I was a ballet dancer, okay? That was the first sport for me. I did football for about a week. I hated it, and I went and did ballet. Okay? Not many 7-year-old boys do that, but that was my first sport. I was super mobile. I was flexible. I was a kid. I had strength, endurance, I had everything through this. I then took up rugby at 12, 13, and my body shape changed to be with rugby. My shoulders came forward, my arms came forward, my position on my body changed, my body history started to adapt. I had to be that way to survive rugby. There's a reason why everyone in rugby is forward heavy. It's because of the contact that we're taking. But with that, I then got chest strains, I got shoulder injuries because my shoulder's not in the right place. So that was like an external circumstance, life choice. I choose to play rugby. I see there's much more benefits, but you can undo some of this by doing some mobility work or movement function. Okay. It's why with the stuff we do in the gym, it's all about getting you moving right first. We could all lift heavy weights if we wanted to. We'd probably all do it wrong. Even myself, I went and lift heavy weights, yeah, let's go do it wrong. But it's much better to move proper, get all your muscles switched on and work properly. And to aid that, this stick. So I'm going to give you some go-to pointers, okay? So the first thing, point out. When you're in pain, recognize the pain. That is your car. That's like your car giving the check engine light coming on in your car, and you just put the stick over it and ignoring it, okay? Our first two guide when we're in pain is getting out a stick, sending me a message if you need to. It's not go towards painkillers or medicine. Painkillers and medicine are the last step, okay? You've tried everything and you're still in pain. have your painkillers. I do have paracetamol on a very, very rare occasion. And it's when I generally cannot figure out why my head is pounding and I've got stuff to do. Okay? Like, that's the situation I choose to do that. But we can get rid of pain. So normally my headache is normally down to a neck issue or something. Like I had one on Sunday for, not Sunday, when was it? Monday maybe? Monday? Pounding headache. My neck's really messed up at the moment. So then I had some paracetamol. My go-to thing, okay, first of all, get your stick out. Send me a message. Dom, my neck hurts, my shoulder hurts, my elbow hurts, whatever it is, send me a message. I will respond with where you need to either apply pressure, be it a stick, a roller, or what I really like to do, you know, can you see the climbing wall? See the little knobs that are sticking out of the climbing wall? They're the holds. Okay, what you can do is actually go up against it. If you've got a cottage house, brilliant. There's always a rock sticking out somewhere that you can push into your back, you know. There's stuff that you can do and find the muscles, and we'll show which one. Your second thing, if you're in pain, ask yourself, did I injure it? Okay. Okay, did you tweak it? Did you fall over? Did you twist your knee? Did you get hit by a car? Or was it, okay, I'm sure you've ever been hit by a car. Was it, I woke up and my body is feeling stiff and painful? Because after a long night's sleep, our body is cold, we're not moving. Like, you know, when you guys get stiff muscles after working out, you come to the gym or we start warming up and the body doesn't get as stiff because the body's getting warm, we're getting movement going, it's like pumping a bit of circulation going, so the body loosens off. When we sleep for 6 to 10 hours, whatever time period it is that we're sat still and doing nothing, that is when our body is going to get the most stiff. So if your pain is more in the morning and less once you start going, that's another telltale sign that you have tight muscles. Okay? If it hurts all the time, that's a sign of something else, okay? But for the fact of muscles, that's exactly that, okay? And the third thing is building that habit to start doing this all the time, okay? Because correct me if I'm wrong, who here is perfectly flexible? I'm not going to stick my hand up. Lindsay is leaving, and she's freakishly flexible. Okay, Albie, my kid, is flexible. Rupert, probably less so now, but he is still flexible. Kids, anyone over the age of adulthood is just, you know, the chances are, the likelihood are a lot less. So building that habit to do stuff, and like, it's really, really easy when you're in pain to remember to stretch, because your body is like, that hurts, go stretch it, that hurts, go stretch it, that hurts, go stretch it. So it's easy to remember then. What's hard is to build the habit. Like, for example, when my neck hurts, I've been stretching this out all week, icing it all week, getting that compression on it, doing loads of stuff all week because it hurts. And like every time I turn my head, I can feel it. So that's a constant reminder. Oh, go stretch. Oh, go stretch. Oh, go stretch. The habit is when we're not in pain, our body is still tight, but it might not be in pain. So it's a case of still working on something, okay? So you're going to start building a habit. If you are busy, look at maybe when you boil a cup of tea, or maybe when you're cooking, or maybe when you're, I don't know, in the office. Can you work standing up, or can you work on the phone stretching? You know, whatever it is, watching TV, try and build a habit where you do start this stretching. How does that all sound, guys?
Thank you.
Has anyone got anywhere that they're in particularly pain right now, and I can tell you exactly where as an example to go stretch? I think you're on mute there. You got a shoulder injury? Right on your trap there. Cool. So we're looking top of the trap, okay? Now this is an interesting one, top of the shoulder, because we can go up or down, or we can go down around the back or round the front of the chest. So when we're directly on the top of that shoulder point there, I would look to rub out the neck muscle, the actual trap, and the side here, our side muscle. I would then massage my chest out, and the same position on my back. Now, the difficulty becomes, we can't just stand here like, it's a bit difficult, isn't it? So we got to find ways of releasing it, okay? Thumb is great. In your chest, you can do this. You can do this with your hand. You can push in, like it really hurts. Dig in, Feel where it feels, get to stretch, figure it out. Side of the arms a bit harder, okay? So what you can do, if you have a tennis ball, let me just get my hockey ball, one sec. Right, this is my hockey ball. So if we got on top of the shoulder, we're going to work into the back, okay, or the side. What we need to do is find something that we can pin this between us and them, okay? So for example, here, I'm going to place the ball on my side there. I know you can't see it, but the ball is right behind that shoulder. I'm working up and down, okay? Then, if I want to get it on the back, I bring my arm over the top, I place the ball down, and into it I go, okay? And again, I'm looking to work up and down, side to side. So just like we did with the stick, we roll the leg up and down, side to side, okay? Up and down, side to side, using something to your advantage. Or you could just go up to a climbing wall or a bit that sticks out and just push that back into it, okay? We are looking to work, so where that hurts, the problem's there, from there, from there, problem there, okay? And you know it's a problem when you reach that point and you're like, oh, yeah, I can feel that. Oh, fuck yeah, it hurts, that does. Okay? How does that sound, guys? Cool.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
We're all going to do a bit of mobility this week. Lovely, lovely. You'll find like it will make such a difference. I just realised how dirty my top is. It makes such a difference to your body, how you feel. So then when we do our training, we can exercise, we can go for it. And what you'll find is sometimes you've got to keep the training, sometimes you have to revert back to more mobility. Okay? That's the focus. The focus outside of the gym should always be nutrition and stretching and rolling. I have people ask me a lot of time, oh, I can dedicate more time to training. I'm like, dedicate more time to, like, if you can get an extra session in, you know, then get another session of mobility in, you know. 2 to 3 times maximum training, if this is like physicalness. Everything else on top of that, I do recommend going into sort of like your mobility then. So for myself, I train about 14 times a week. Okay, it's all jiu-jitsu for me. So I am doing lots and lots of mobility and stretching, lots of learning. Obviously social distance, of course, guys. But yeah, so no, it's good. It's good. So any questions at all, guys? So what do we do? First time we're in pain, message me. Next time we're in pain, try and figure out where the pain is. Where can we find the problem? Up or down? Okay. Third thing, if you are continued pain, then yes, medicine can help with painkillers and what have you, but I'm sure we can figure it out together, okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Right, go
Yeah,
build that habit. Any issues at all, let me know, okay? But you can't go wrong with this. Just roll out a muscle, figure it out, move around, get your partner to dig a thumb into you or an elbow, you know, whatever it might be, okay? Like, oh, I got a headache today. Right, cool. Let's get the elbow into those traps. It's good. Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming along, guys.
Good, yes.
Thank you.
What time
Thank
is it?
you.
Lovely. Enjoy the 1 hour less that we have today.
Rain.
Yeah, raining, miserable. It's good. Brilliant. Really good stuff, guys. Well, I hope everyone has a lovely week. I will see you in the week, guys, all of you, and happy days.
Everybody, thanks, Dom.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.